This is the Rambo Venom 2. It's not just a bike, it's a predator on two wheels. Today we're going to put it through all of its pace from specs to the first ride impression and see if this beast really belongs in your hunting camp. Careful, she bites. Welcome back to Heartland Makes and Outdoors, where we test gear in the real world. Hunting, fishing, oh, we got fish on, camping. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join us on the search for the ultimate hunting bike. Hey, just for the record, you can't tell, it's a pretty good hill. And this thing pulls so hard, I'm actually afraid it's gonna start asking for gas money. Starting with the frame, it's a 6061 T1 aluminum hardtail. Lightweight, tough, and built to handle punishment. Kind of like me and my wife when I forgot our anniversary. That was punishment. The motor is a 1000 watt Bafang Ultra mid-drive. 160 Newton meters of torque. This thing's got more torque than the farm truck I learned how to drive. It climbs hills like you're running late for church. Brakes, Tektro E725 quad piston with 203 millimeter rotors up front, 180 millimeter rotor in the back. Stopping power is so strong, it'll make your hunting buddy spill his coffee. What? Wait a minute, my hunting buddy ain't riding on the back with me. Gears, you say? It's got the SRAM NX 11-speed, 11 to 40 tooth cassette. From mountain goat climbs to hauling tail back to camp, this bike's got you covered. Battery and charging system. This comes with a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery that can be upgraded to a 20 amp hour battery. The 3 amp charger means that you'll get a full charge in 5 hours. Perfect when you're running the generator back at hunting camp and you don't want to hear the neighbors complaining. Tires comes stock with the Maxxis Minion. You got the DHF up front and the DHR in the rear. These tires grip mud, sand, and gravel better than a toddler hanging on to a sucker in the checkout line. Suspension. You've got an adjustable air fork with rebound and lockout. Takes the edge off those rough trails so you don't rattle like a tackle box. Now to the real world features that really count. You've got an integrated, welded rear rack, adjustable class system display that's actually waterproof, the stock pedals and the seat. Yeah, when it comes to pedals and the seat, and yes, they're about as exciting as your grandma giving you socks on Christmas Day. We do have a video about some pedals that we've already upgraded to if you want to check that out. Oh yeah, and the display has a 10-minute timeout timer, so if you forget to turn it off on your way to your tree stand, it'll automatically shut down for you. Another thing that you might take note of, a rain cover. Again, this will just kind of give you another little view of how long this is. It's a really long hill. We're doing 7 miles an hour. You guys that are good with math figure out how long this hill is. I say it's about 500 yards, but I may be off a little bit. I've ridden up and down this thing hundreds of times. The Minion tires on this, there's absolutely no challenge to them Minion tires. They were made for this kind of stuff. Absolute made. Gravel, rocks, sand, mud, great all-around tire. You factor that in, it's a couple $100 upgrade over some of the products out there. We're riding some rough stuff back here. A lot of this heavy-duty gravel is very similar to what I would describe as almost lava rock. It's just really sharp rocks, and we're going to be putting the Tannis armor in these. So we do have the throttle, like I showed you, right-hand throttle. You can put on all your gear to stay warm and not pedal. Go out there as close as you want to get to where you're going to hunt. Chain your bike up. Think about this. With the power of the e-bike helping you, you're not going to get all hot and sweaty. So you can sit in your tree stand so much longer. There's two things that a lot of people don't talk about in especially the hunting e-bikes. One, you're not getting soaking wet from sweat. Two, the amount of time that you can save. The more time that we can save, because we're all short on time, if it means that you can get out there earlier and you're not exhausted, that gives you more time in the woods. When you're thinking about whether or not an e-bike would benefit you in any way, shape, or form, it's going to give you more time in the woods, sitting in your stand, doing what you want to be doing. That right there, priceless. Not to mention, now you're not freezing to death. I mentioned it earlier, this has a really nice air shock up front. You can adjust the rebound, and then also we've got this front rack on here, and having the ability to lock out the fork and or adjust the amount of tension makes a huge difference. And if it's been a while since you've ridden a bike, let me show you something real quick that gets a lot of people in trouble, and it also causes a lot of wrecks, and a lot of people have no idea what's causing it. I'm going to show it to you right now, but watch this. Okay, when your front fork compresses down to the point of no return, when you jam on the brakes or you're going down a steep incline, and this is a complaint that I had with some of the other mountain bikes that ship with those springs, you can't adjust that to keep it from pitching you over. Good chance it will pitch you over. But this having the adjustable air fork, you can go in here and adjust that, and you can also put it on a totally lockout position. So if you're in that extreme rough terrain and you're going downhill, the last thing you want is that suspension smashing all the way down. Tire will end up digging in and turning, and that's going to pitch you. This is a hardtail. It's going to be a little rougher. That may be a deciding factor for you, and we have ordered a suspension seat post that we're going to be doing a video on soon. It should be here in the next couple of days. We've got 32 miles on this, and the first time I rode this coming from multiple dual suspension mountain bikes, and that other Golden R is a dual suspension bike as well, I thought this thing was going to rattle my eye teeth out. The more I ride it, I've adjusted the air pressure down. I've also got the front fork dialed in. The more I ride it, the more I actually love it, because you really can feel the different power from your leg to that rear wheel, and not having that rear suspension soaking up a lot of your energy really means more efficiency. The riding position on this bike is actually not bad. It kind of reminds me of a standard mountain bike, a little bit, kind of having your weight split between your handlebars and your seat, kind of slightly bent over. Not as bad as you would be if you was on a sport bike, but just enough that you're able to get good traction on these Maxxis Minion tires, both front and rear. And here's another hill. This is a pretty steep incline. We're carrying 9 mile an hour, almost 10 mile an hour. It ain't bogging for nothing. Steady hum on that little engine. Perfect for hunt, quiet, nimble. But that's the rattle you're hearing. That's what you attach my camera to the tripod with. The bike itself is not rattling. And that motor, like I said, it is strong. It really pulls. You hear that hub? If I would have went to a dealer and test rode this bike, I would have left there without buying it because of that noise right there. There's pros and cons with that noise. One, you know, when you're pedaling, clicking noise that you're hearing means that it's making a good solid connection, transferring all of your power and or the Bafang mid-watt motor power to that rear wheel, and your rear wheel's turning. That's why it's clicking so loud, because those are really good teeth in there. Now then, I'm going to show you what I've come up with to eliminate that, especially here in a second. You're going to see me ride up on a deer. She stands there, never even pays us any attention. And I'm going to show you how you can quiet that down if you do end up going with this bike. And I'm telling you, this is a powerhouse little bike, and it is built for hunting. All right, I came in here to the trees where there's no wind so that you can hear this better, but you can hear this motor, not too bad. But let me get up to about 6 mile an hour. You hear that clicking? Now, I used to be an IPEMBA instructor, and one of the things that you have to be able to pass as an instructor and or a student if you're wanting to be IPEMBA certified is we set up boxes. The boxes are basically 10 foot, and if you've got a 29-inch bike, you've really got to get down in that lower gear and you're turning this wheel. Now, while you're doing that, to make this really tight turn, and we just did it in about 7 feet with this big bike with these big fat tires, we're going to make another U-turn. You're using your balance and you're using your brakes to help you keep your balance and look ahead into the turn that you're making. But do you hear that right there? You can barely hear a little bit of noise. So let's just hypothetically, you're going down the road, right? You can hear the motor kicking in and out. We're in echo mode, so it's a little bit quieter. But say a deer runs out right up here by this tree. What you can immediately do, hit your brakes. When you hit your brakes, it's going to kill the power to the motor. You're also not hearing that clicking because we are still pedaling. That's a big buck. So you talk about turning a beast of a machine into the ultimate stealth mode. That right there is how you do it, guys. Look at this, just riding the brake. I'm in the lowest gear this thing has. We're doing 2 miles an hour and you're not hearing nothing. Now, I'm gonna show you a deer that we rode up on. This morning, standing there looking at us. Nice chocolate colored coat on her, brightening it up just a little bit. She had her head down when we was coming up here. Testing the air, smelling. I'm going to show you something else a lot of people don't talk about when they're doing these videos. Any of you that have the mid-drive motors already know this. You need to let off the gas just the same as if you was pedaling a regular mountain bike. You let off the gas when you're shifting. But listen to this. Okay? And I don't know if you heard what happened, but when I shifted, the motor cuts off. It's a bad idea to be under power when you're shifting, and it doesn't matter if you're shifting up or shifting down. That way you're not ripping your cassette apart in the back and or breaking your chain. So is the Rambo Venom 2 the ultimate hunting bike? I don't know, guys. I'm gonna let you decide. If you guys have experience with this bike, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are, what your experience has been. I think this is one of the most underrated hunting bikes on the market. Right now, Rambo has a couple of demos that you can pick up just like this one for $3,150. I know that's expensive, but this bike, when it originally came out, retailed for $5 grand. A lot of people simply have overlooked it, and I think it's because it's a hardtail. Maybe they just can't see the benefits of this mid-drive motor. I'm not going to say the mid-drive is the best motor in the world, but it's dang sure a good contender if you've got a bunch of steep inclines that you're trying to go up. That motor weight and the battery where it's positioned is going to help center your weight, gravity, which in turn just means more efficient pedaling. I'm gonna wrap up this video on the Rambo Venom 2, but if you're a manufacturer and you're making a hunting e-bike and you'd like to see if yours will stand up to the qualifications that make the ultimate hunting e-bike, reach out. Let's see if we can't work together. Let's see if we can't get your bike in here for a review as well as we continue our search for the ultimate e-bike. If you guys would like to see what all mods we're gonna do to this bike, I'd encourage you to join our little family. We are gonna be doing some more giveaways coming up pretty soon, and we're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. With your help, we can make it. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a blessed week, and let's get outside and make something happen. See that little buck right there? That's one of the ones we've been trying to get in the mornings. There they go, 2 little bucks.